Just over 3 years ago now, I took a SARM.
Did he really experience crippling, crushed levels of testosterone from 7.5 milligrams of Ostrine for just over a month? A dose lower than most women take. I do not believe what he's saying.
So I want to make it very clear, in this video, I will not be apologizing for a mistake I made.
Coach Greg, in today's video, Dylan Mcknight outs himself. Why I took steroids and lied about it. Coming clean about my natty status. And so I'm sure many of you are shocked to find out that he wasn't actually natural. That he in fact had used performance-enhancing drugs. Am I shocked? Of course not. Most of the people who are saying they're natural are actually not. Most people are lying, saying they're not taking steroids when they actually are.
Where do I start?
Where do I start? First of all, I would start with an apology. I made a video on how to apologize and how to apologize effectively. 650,000 people following him thinking he was 100% natural when he actually wasn't. But does he go on to apologize? No. He regrets nothing.
But I'm guessing you probably just feel lied to. That's because you have been. I lied to you. So clearly, I'm a piece of shit, right?
And so he says, clearly I'm a piece of shit, right? And then he laughs. And so he's saying that sarcastically. He doesn't feel like a piece of shit. He orchestrated this. He planned this. And it worked better than he even expected. And remember, he's making over $10,000. I do believe those are US dollars. He's making that each and every month. And that's from YouTube ad revenue alone. And I'm certain he's able to make far more money than that through other avenues.
I am a man. I am fallible. All I ever wanted to do on here was to be relatable and to be personal. To be your friend.
And so if that's the case, why were you not being your authentic self? If you really want to relate to your fans, why are you not honest with them? If you tell your fans what they want to hear, I'm natural. If you make lies, I never took this, then how are you relating to them? If you're relating to them, you could say, you know, I don't like my physique. I'm intimidated. I'm small. I don't like the way I look. And so I'm going to take steroids because I don't have a very good self-esteem. I don't feel good on the inside. And I want my exterior shell to look better so that I have more confidence. Is that not more relatable than I'm 100% natural? Look at me. Look at my biceps. What is more relatable?
So I want to make it very clear. In this video, I will not be apologizing for a mistake I made. I'm simply owning up to that mistake and taking accountability as a man.
How are you owning up to a mistake and taking accountability for it if you're not apologizing? And so imagine this. You cheat on your girlfriend, you say to her, listen, I'm going to tell you something, but I'm not going to apologize for it. I'm just taking ownership of it as a man. I cheated on you. She's thinking, really? You're telling me you cheat on me? You're just taking ownership of it? What the heck is that?
I'm simply owning up to that mistake and taking accountability as a man.
And so taking accountability for something, if you hurt someone, if you upset them, if you made them angry, is in fact apologizing. Without the apologizing, you're doing absolutely nothing.
The real truth of it is that I could continue to lie about this, keep making money from it, and none of you would ever know. I am going to be crucified for this shit.
And so he's saying, look, I could keep lying. By saying this, I'm going to be crucified for it, or perhaps lose money. But in reality, is that actually true? Since when has being honest been bad in the fitness industry? When people come out and make apologies for things they've done, do you really think it's hurt them? Even the Liver King being outed, exposed, and making a fake apology, even the Liver King continues to excel. And so I certainly don't think that by Dylan saying, I used PEDs 3 years ago, of which I only used this much, I only took a half a pill, I only did it for 6 weeks, and that's way back then, and it didn't affect me now, that's going to hurt him. If anything, I saw him copping out. If anything, how do we know he's not lying about what he took? Oh, I took half of a tab of Ostrine. It was 15 milligrams. I took half of a tab, 7.5 milligrams. You know, less than most women take. And oh, it made such a difference. As I dieted down, I kept all my size, look completely full, look completely different. I can tell you from experience. Remember, I've coached people who took Ostrine, hundreds of people. I've taken it myself. I know what Ostrine does. There's no way that taking 7.5 milligrams of Ostrine is going to dramatically transform your physique. That you're going to look like a swole, jacked bodybuilder from just taking a teeny dose of Ostrine. Then he says, oh, it gave me depression. I was depressed for 3 years. It was so hard to get my testosterone levels back to normal. Oh, I struggled. Feel bad for me. This is an appeal to emotion. He's trying to make you feel sorry for him. He's saying, you know, I went through so many struggles. I was depressed. My testosterone levels were down. I only took it for 6 weeks. Such small doses, less than girls take. I'm probably going to lose all kinds of money. And so please feel bad for me. That is what I see. If he was actually truly sorry and made an apology video, if he'd said, you know, I've been reflecting on this for years, I've been living a lie, I need to finally come out and tell you the truth. I regret this decision. I should have been honest with you. I let you down. Please forgive me. I'd say, absolutely, gonna forgive you. But this, he's not asking for your forgiveness. He's saying, hey, I did it. I'm going to continue and I'm not sorry. And so if you're not sorry for something, what it means is that you would do it all over again. After all, did it hurt him? Ask yourself, did it hurt him? 650,000 followers. Making over 10,000 US dollars a month.
I made 10 grand off of YouTube alone last month. And the reality of this is that this could cause a lot of you to withdraw your support from me.
Do you really think it's going to withdraw your support from him? Do you not think he thought about this? I mean, after all, he had 3 years to think about it. It's been 3 years since he took Osterine at that small dose, which I don't believe. And so to me, this is a carefully thought out video saying, hey, it's perfect timing. Now more than ever before, people are ready to forgive. I mean, new year, new me. I'm going to come out and tell you I took Osterine 3 years ago at a small dose and I'm not natural. And it's going to get views. People are going to talk about it.
But I cannot profit off a lie anymore. You know, this has eaten me alive for some time now.
If it's eaten him alive, of which he stated, why is he not apologizing? If it's actually eaten you alive, why are you not apologizing? It doesn't make sense to me. I mean, let's think of that example. If you cheated on your girlfriend and it's been eating you alive for months, and you then say, hey, I have to come clean. I'm not going to apologize. I don't regret it. I do it all over again. And so, yeah, it's eating at me. I had a threesome with 2 girls the night before a wedding. Oh, there it is. And I don't regret it. I'm not apologizing. And so deal with it.
Just over 3 years ago now, I took a SARM. Now, this is not quite a traditional steroid. You know, this is probably a category below.
And so here it is. Remember, the title says, why I took steroids and lied about it. He never took steroids. And so the title is literally a lie. It's clickbait. He took Osterine, which is a SARM. And notice how he says it's a step down. It's not actually steroids. It's a step down.
More commonly known as Osterine. I purchased them in 15 milligram tablets and I cut them in half. So I was taking 7.5 milligrams of Osterine every day. And I did that for a month and some change.
And so think of it. He's clickbaiting us into watching the video saying, hey, I took steroids. And then after that, he's saying, well, it wasn't actually steroids. It's a step down. And it was over 3 years ago. And it was just for over a month. And it was 7.5 milligrams. And it's a lower dose than what females take. And I can attest to that. Most women who take Osterine take in 10 milligrams. Most men taking 25. And even at 25 milligrams on a full cycle, perhaps you could gain 4 or 5 pounds of muscle. Osterine is probably the mildest SARM you can take. You're not, unless you're a woman, going to experience mind-blowing growth from taking Osterine, especially at 7.5 milligrams. If anything, 7.5 is so low, all it's going to do is suppress your own body's natural production of testosterone. Because you're taking Osterine from an exogenous source, your body's thinking, I don't need to produce all this testosterone, and so it starts to produce less and less. And over the course of weeks and months, your body's level of testosterone, it goes on the decline.
Women who take Osterine, they take more than that, okay? So this was an extremely minimal and conservative dose of the drug I was taking.
And so notice he's saying it's an extremely conservative minimal dose of Osterine. Notice how he's saying that. And so when people make videos, please watch their mannerisms. How are they speaking? Are they looking in the camera? How are they acting? Their body language. You can literally get more from watching them than from the words they're speaking. 78% of communication is non-verbal. What they're actually saying is only a small part of the message. And if you listen to his message, the message is, I don't regret it. I would do it all over again, and I'm not apologizing. And it's not actually a steroid, it's just Osterine. And so is it really a big deal?
I remember it making me significantly stronger in the gym. It definitely leaned out my physique. It definitely dried out the body. It just made me appear a lot less watery.
Do you really think that a small dose of Osterine leans out the physique, makes you less watery, gonna put on that much muscle? I'm telling you, no.
What it did for me is it just gave me this freaky, unnatural look that you could not achieve without a drug.
Do you really think that taking 7.5 milligrams, less than a female typically takes, is going to allow you to look freaky and unnatural? I can tell you right now, the vast majority of bikini competitors at the amateur level are taking far, far more than this. These are women. Do you really think that men who compete, and Dylan did in fact compete, are getting by with just taking Osterine, even at 4 times the dose, would not have made nearly the gains that he's talking about?
It was crazy. It was wild. So yeah, you should definitely take it. Don't take it.
And using words like it was crazy, it was wild, are not things I would define taking 7.5 milligrams of Osterine. And so if anything, this is doing us a disservice. Imagine how many people are thinking, wow, Osterine's amazing. 7.5 milligrams, all I need is Osterine, I'm gonna make amazing gains. I believe the sales of Osterine just went up because of Dylan Mcknight's video.
It completely crashed my testosterone. I was between 1 and 200 for it.
And so what he's saying is that Osterine at 7.5 milligrams for just over a month completely crashes testosterone production. Really? Really? You really think that a minimal dose of one of the safest SARMs you can get is going to completely ruin your testosterone levels for perhaps months and or years? I mean, the vast majority of people competing are taking testosterone, Tren, Deca, EQ, Masterone, Primo, Anavar, Winstrol. The list goes on. And even these individuals usually recover after several months, especially when using a PCT, known as a post-cycle therapy.
I had severe depression. My dick didn't work. And I had no motivation to do anything ever.
Now remember, if you have low levels of testosterone, of course it's important to eat. If you're on a diet, a cutting diet, of which he has in fact competed in the past, oftentimes that will crush your testosterone levels. If this is the case, you can of course try G-test. And if your downstairs isn't working harder than last time, then pick up harder than last time. You know you want it. Interested in these supplements? Code Greg, 10% off.
I was so tired. I would go to sleep, I'd sleep 10 to 12 hours, and I would still wake up just completely fatigued. I lost a lot of muscle. I lost everything I had gained from the performance-enhancing drug and more.
And so he says, I lost everything I gained from the performance-enhancing drugs that I took. Is it possible that's from the actual 10 to 12 hours of sleep that he took? And is it possible that this was unrelated? And we all know and understand that mental health is very important and it's affecting far more people than we know. And so even if he had not taken Osterine at 7.5 milligrams, he may in fact have still suffered from depression. This happens to anyone. If you are experiencing depression, you're feeling depressed, please talk to someone, whether it's your best friend, a psychologist, counselor, someone, please open up. We do not want you suffering some depression. And so yes, I do agree, if you have crushed levels of testosterone, it can of course affect your mood. And so if you are considering to take Osterine, SARMs, other steroids, I beg you to reconsider. Go and see your doctor. You're very unlikely to make significant gains as he did unless you're taking abusive doses. And once you stop, you are very likely going to lose the majority of the gains that you made. That can lead to a vicious cycle where you go on and off. And so although our steroids technically are not physically addictive, the mental addiction is a real thing. Think of it, you go from looking in the mirror, feeling amazing, looking incredible, to suddenly losing the gains. Each and every week you go to the gym and you get weaker, smaller, perhaps more body fat. How do you think that's going to make you feel?
So I lost all the size I had gained from the drug and more, and on top of that, I was now left with cripplingly low testosterone levels. I've spent the past 3 years of my life naturally nursing my testosterone levels back to health.
And so remember that appeal to emotion that I described. He's saying he spent the last 3 years slowly nursing his testosterone levels, those crippling low testosterone levels, back to normal. But have you seen his physique? Does he look like he has a physique of somebody with extremely low levels of testosterone? And if you're between 1 and 200 nanograms per deciliter, and he must know this because he went to a doctor, well, guess what? That is low enough that they would in fact prescribe HRT. And so is Dylan perhaps on HRT? Is he lying about this? How do we know if he's being honest? I mean, if you go to the doctor for 3 years and your testosterone levels are between 1 and 200, why would the doctor not do something about it? Perhaps he couldn't have given him HCG or enclomiphene. But to do nothing, think of it. He's gone to the doctor and has been suffering from crushed and cripplingly low levels of testosterone, and yet he's done nothing about it? How does that make sense? He's in the United States. You could give him a prescription. And so is it actually true? Is he being honest right now? Is he actually trying to relate to us? And to do that, I do believe you need to be open, honest, transparent, and your authentic self. And so is he really being honest? Did he really experience crippling, crushed levels of testosterone from 7.5 milligrams of Ostrine for just over a month? A dose lower than most women take. I don't buy it. I'm sorry. I tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you my honest opinion. I'm reading his body language. I'm doing my best to offer you my honest opinion on what I see here. I do not believe what he's saying.
My current physique is completely natural, and I look the best I ever have in my entire life.
Yet he has just finished saying he's been suffering from crippled, crushed levels of testosterone. And so which is it? Can you actually develop the best physique you've ever had while having crushed levels of testosterone? I don't buy it.
I'm not asking you to completely agree with me here. And I'm not even asking for your forgiveness. I'm simply asking that you respect my decision that I made today to be honest.
I mean, I don't get it. I'm not asking you for your forgiveness. I mean, if you genuinely regret what you're doing, you're trying to promote the natural agenda, and you only used Ostrine for just over a month, why couldn't you say, hey guys, I made a mistake. I lied about the fact that I was natural. I actually used Ostrine 3 years ago. I know it was wrong. I lied. I deceived you, but I regret it. If I could go back in time, I wouldn't have done it. I would have done it while being 100% natural, or at least told you that I was taking something. I had low self-esteem, low self-worth, and I resorted to using performance-enhancing drugs. I regret it. I am sorry. Why didn't he do this? I'll tell you why. He doesn't actually regret it. He's not sorry. He's not asking for our forgiveness.
I don't know why I did it. I was just a stupid kid. I had a tough time growing up. I just never really felt like it was enough.
And so why did I do it? Oh, I don't know. I had a tough time growing up. Appeal to emotion. It was tough for me.
And I think that's why I got into social media in the first place. To get that attention that I never got.
And so you feel bad for the guy. And so you write comments, oh, it's okay, Dylan. We understand. I was like that too. It's okay. That is what people do when they lie. People, rather than just saying they're sorry that they made a mistake and actually owning up to it, they try to gaslight you. They try to appeal to your emotions. They do anything but take actual accountability. And so Dylan saying, oh, I took a little bit of Ostrine, but it was over 3 years ago. I'm 100% natural. Is he actually apologizing for anything? Or is he trying to appeal to our emotions?
And what did I do once I got that attention? I lied to you all. But I hope in time that you can forgive me.
And so I'm going to now strip down into my underwear and go into the cold water with a shredded, amazing looking physique. Let me know in the comment section, do you buy this? Do you understand why I make these videos? Do you understand what I'm telling you? He's not sorry. Now, of course, if you're looking to stay natural, you can get all the supplements on my website. They're all 100% natural, including Ecti Builder and Turk Builder. Please click the link in the description. Don't forget 10% off. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Don't forget to watch one of those 2 bloops. If you liked the video, can you in fact liked it? And of course, we have the cookbooks, the training books, the Circle Diet book, coaching plans by me and my team, the Harder Than Last Time clothing line. You can get it on the website. Also, free diet and training program, 300,000 newsletter subscribers. Get it on the website. And until next time, I'm out.